Hey guys, it's Tuesday. Got busy this weekend, didn't have time to make any videos, so here we are, Tuesday. And it's humid, it's kind of sprinkling outside, kind of grayed out, but not too bad, 77 degrees in here. Alright, so compressor, this is kind of what I'm playing with now. Went ahead and put this in, revamped all this. Let me zoom out. Alright, so you can see, went ahead and put the motor guard in here, revamped all this fitting and stuff to where it actually fit in there and be in line with this. So that's going to help my water, any water issues I'm going to have. But I want to go a step further, and this is, I've got a guy that's just giving me a rash load of shit at work because he's like, dude, I used to work in a body shop and we didn't have near the stuff you have, and our paint jobs come out perfect and fine, didn't have fish eyes, didn't have craters, didn't have, okay, I get it. And this probably is overkill, but anyway, so what I'm planning on doing is putting an aftercooler on my tank or compressor over here. And what that is, you guys don't know, and this is on my phone, I just purchased this kit right here. Basically that's I think it's 23 by 14, and all it is a condenser, and then that comes with some Arrow, some badass heavy duty hose, and then all those little fittings that you see there, so I can fit that in. And that hose is, like I said, some kind of SAE type E class, whatever. It's braided type hose, or not braided, but whatever that is. Anyway, long story longer. So I'm gonna put that back here behind this. You can see that, and I'm basically just gonna attach it to this. And what happens is you've got your air coming out. So I actually have me one of those lines coming out of here. It'll go into that cooler. It runs all through that cooler. Then from there, I'm going to go out the bottom, split down basically with copper line, or off of that line that it comes with, and make it go to copper line. I'm going to put me another 5-gallon bucket down here, probably right next to it. And I'm going to coil that up into a bucket of water. So whatever ambient temperature is in here, most time like 70-some degrees, it'll run through that 70 degree water. Okay, then I'm going to have it come back up and basically come off into here. I've seen this done on YouTube by several people, and they're like, when you do this, actually I'm going to actually tie one of these in there to where I have a place for my water to escape. I'll probably attach it somewhere in here, but anyway, so as it comes back up, it'll have a water drain deal here that catches any residual water, then it'll come off into here. And they said when you do that, you almost get no water out of your tank anymore, and your tank will basically stay whatever the temperature is in the shop. So 77 degrees, which, I mean, I did a video before, these things get up 200 plus degrees, almost 300 degrees, then it's just force feeding that air straight from here straight into your tank. So this tank gets hot as hell. Well, when it goes from 300 degrees to 77 degrees, it creates condensation, if I understand it correctly. So then that condensation goes out and goes up into your lines, and that's where you get a problem. Well, I've got all this stuff, which is probably be fine for painting. I could probably live with that. But I thought, you know, for 100 bucks, 150 bucks, I can get a cooler that actually pretty much take all of my issues out, plus it'll run over to my regular. And see, when you're running air tools, because on this line is where I run all my air sanders and all that kind of stuff. Well, I don't oil my tools because you don't want to do that, or at least in my opinion. You don't want to run oil in the back of that and then have oil spraying all out of your sander all over your freaking car. You know, because oil is an enemy of anything you're going to be doing on body work. So I thought, you know, if I can dry my air, make, you know, and have it to where when it's coming out of here, it's already dry, and then I've got this stuff, which will now be overkill. But then when it's coming up and I'm actually using it here, it'll prolong the life of my tools. So, and I've got lots of air tools, so that might be worth to me, that might be worth the money that I've spent We'll see how it works out. But yeah, like all these tools that I have here are all air tools, and I won't put any oil through them. You know, a lot of guys put the little, 2 or 3 drops of oil in them or whatever, and that's fine if you're not worried about, having oil splatter all over the side of your car while you're doing it. That's fine. But when I was working at the body shop, he absolutely would not let you put any oil anywhere near those tools. And he's like, when they wear out, they wear out. We'll buy another one. So that's kind of, but I figured if I can get that to where the water is almost non-existent, then I don't have to worry about water rusting out the inside of those tools and wearing them out and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my thought. Tell me what you think. But you guys, oh yeah. Bought me some of these. I don't know if I already showed these or not. These little soft sanders. Don't know how they work, how well they work. All they look like is that foam that your kids play with in the swimming pool. That's all they look like. They're just different shapes and stuff. But we'll see. I don't know what I paid for them, but anyway, and they come in different lengths. I think these are 11-inch. They come in some. You can get some bigger ones too. You can also get smaller ones, but they're supposed to be waterproof and all that kind of stuff. And you can use them wet sand. And anyway, I'll let you know as I'm going how well they work. But all right, that's about it, guys. Let's sit back down with this back panel, and I've got quite a bit more work to do to it. You can see here, you can see this body line that comes down, and this is flat. Well, this is missing the body line completely, and it's dented in. So I'm gonna have to pull all this. I'll have to pull this back out and get that all straightened out to where it follows the same contour. If you can see that, basically it comes down. That's where your license plate goes. Yeah, I've got some more stuff to do here. I've got a little dent here I got to pull out still. And you guys seen all that there. Anyway, I got to get all this flattened out. I honestly would have been way better off to replace that rear panel, but like I said, it's not going to happen at this point. So and I think when this got hit, like I was talking about before, and you can see I put some guide coat stuff in here. Still got to pull this stuff out, but it really bent this whole thing in pretty good. So anyway, I got to try to get that flattened out as much as possible. So I'll bring you back as I'm working this stuff. Some of you guys like watching this, watching me use this little machine here and pull this stuff out. And like I say, you can't get to the back side. It'd be so much easier, but there's another panel back there that won't allow me to access the back of it. Otherwise, it'd be pretty much easy. But all right. Well, like I said, as I get going, I'll bring you back. See you. All right, you can see I've got the studs in there. What I've done is kind of see the crease line here. I could have marked that with the Sharpie, but basically I just eyeballed it down. I want to pull this crease line back out, and I've got this indented here, so I ended up putting right in the deep part of that. So you got several options here. You can use the stud lever, you can use the slide hammer, which this is what I'm going to use to get it close, and then I'll probably come back in with my stud lever and do some finesse type stuff. And anyway, I don't know how well you can tell, but that's it's been in pretty good. So like I said, I'm going to do the heavy work with this stud lever and then go from there. I'll show you, well, I'll try to set the camera down so you guys can watch. All right, hopefully you guys can kind of see that. All right, let's take this here. It's a pretty big spot here. Tighten it up. See it pulled out pretty good there. squeeze too hard, it'll pull right in the spot, and you'll have a bunch of little high spots or nipples or whatever you want to call them. And you can shrink those back down, or you can, whatever, but kind of want to try not to do that if you can. Now they make other deals that have like fingers that you can grab like one deal and pull all at the same time, and those are awesome, but I've yet to buy those, so I have what I have here. Anyway, I pulled it out pretty good. Take and see what I've got here. Okay, I'm still low right here in the middle, so I need to put some more stuff here. You can see that's fairly straight, and that needs to come out a whole lot more. I don't know how well that's showing, but yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that a bunch more. So probably need to put some more down here in the middle, so I don't end up pulling a bunch of high spots up like I was just talking about. Probably going to pull one of these off and put me one right in the center and pull it up. You can still see, if I've got the camera set right, you can see that light in there pretty good. Instead on this side, it's pretty much flat, so kind of give you an idea how far out it needs to go. So, all right, I'm gonna keep working this, and when I get it closer, I'll bring you back, because otherwise, this is probably gonna be a 30-minute dent or something like that, probably. So, and that would make the video way too long. So, all right, I'll bring you guys back. See you. Hey guys, you can see I'm getting pretty close now. See how much that gap has went in? You can still see it, but it's way, that's probably maybe 1/8 of an inch or less. So, doing pretty good here. And this way, it's looking pretty good, all the way up, nice and flat, pretty close. So from here, since I can't, these aren't really, like I said, I can take the stud lever here. Let's go ahead and play with this for a second. I'm probably going to take some of these off anyway, just to get that stud lever in there. Fine tuning, let's try that center one. See if I can get this to fit in there good. Alright. Probably gonna have to pull this one off too. It's in the way. About knocking the tips off these, it takes a couple seconds extra, but man, it makes a huge difference. Huge difference. These suckers stick like crazy. And there's nothing, to me, there's nothing worse than doing what happened that one day when I would go to pull on it and it just freaking pops off. So yeah. That's good enough. You can do a wipe on it and be happy. I'm going to come a little bit more, do some fine tuning, but I'm going to do that with my Eagle. So I'm going to pull it over, and you remember how it welds itself, and I can just do some fine tuning. So I'll start doing a little bit of that, and Another trick too. Everybody likes tricks. Most of you guys know this. Get you one of these fat Sharpies. It's a real fat Magnum Sharpie. Magnum. We all like a Magnum, don't we? Anyway, so you take this Sharpie and basically just go all over your metal, and it's just like a guide code. Okay, it's the same thing I did over here. It shows your highs and your lows, and you can just work it out from there. So when I pull all these off, I'll do that with the guide coat, and I'll run me a little bit of sandpaper over, figure out what my highs and lows are, shrink my highs, pull my lows, get it real close to where all I have to do is a real, tight wipe or filler, and I'm not having to blob a whole shitload in there. So that's the plan. Goal, like I said, works for me. But again, you got to buy all these fun tools, and that's the thing, I've got thousands of dollars probably wrapped up in tools, and it's like, well, you're giving a lot of secrets away. Well, okay, yeah, and a lot of this stuff is common knowledge, people know, but just little tricks I picked up here and there, and stuff off of YouTube, and just different things that help. But yeah, you still have to go purchase all these tools to do this, the way I'm doing it. Like I said, you're not going to get a hammer and dolly back there. So you have to have a stud puller. These stud pullers, you can probably pick up a Harbor Freight. Don't know how well they work, but that one right there is a Unispot or Stinger. It's a badass high dollar one. Again, I picked it up off of, I scour Craigslist all the time looking for body tools and different things like that. Pick up all these tools for a quarter the price it would have cost new. So anyway, just a little heads up. Like I said, I'm gonna pull all these off. I'm gonna go ahead and find my highs and lows and stuff, and then I'll bring you back as I start fine tuning that. See you guys. All right, guys. Show you how this little guy I'm doing with it. Now this is that little eagle. You can see basically it just welds itself to the panel. I had my son make this for me. It's basically use it as a slide. All this is a bolt that I cut the head off of, real long bolt, and then ground it down. I'm pretty sure they sell these, but I'm sure they're expensive as hell, and the bolt works fine. So anyway, put it on. Grab a hold of wherever you want, wherever it's low, and push the trigger. And you just spin it when you're done. You see how I just turned it? Pops right off. See how that light's going away? It's getting a lot closer. Still got some right in here and then you hit. Alright, we're getting real close. Like I said, I don't pull that up too high. I'm going to put a little filler in there. But I want to get it close. I still got a ways to go. I'm trying to get that body line to come back out. That's why I'm doing it literally right on that body line. There's a crease that goes right through there that's supposed to be out, and it got smashed in. So just running that crease, trying to pull that crease back out a little bit at a time. Anyway, so a little heads up, thought I'd bring you along for that. I'll keep working this down, and I'll bring you back when I get close. We're almost done anyway. All right, guys, I'm trying to do this without getting in the way, and it's going to be hard to do. But you can see I put the Sharpie on there. I've got it pretty close. You can see I've pulled all over the place. You can see those little spots and dots and all that. Anyway, so, and you can't see where I'm at, but anyway, I'm comparing the good side to the bad side. So, take my block here, and basically, again, I'm just trying to find my highs and lows. Alright, so this to me and this is probably right. That's where the rest of this panel needs to be. Okay, all the rest of this in here is low, so I need to keep pulling this up. Now, this is really close, but it's still a little bit low. Now, ultimately, for me, what I would want to do, if I was able to get to the back side of that, is again, put me a flat dolly on the back side of that, and I'd take my slapper, and I'd pull this whole thing back up to where damn near you wouldn't almost need any filler. I mean, just barely, because you can do that when you get to the back side of it. You can't get to the back side of this, so I'm having to pull this up like this and get it close. And if I pull too far, then I'm gonna have high spots, and when I put my filler on there, I'm gonna sand through and have some metal spots showing. So I do want it to be a little bit low, but not extremely low. And now that I moved the camera where I have, you can't really see how close I am, but it's getting a lot closer than it was. But I still got a lot of pulling to do, and it will pull through that. Not wanting to grab as good, I don't think quite as good, but it is still grabbing. See it popped off there. You can see why I said this is a fine-tuning machine. You don't want to try to pull like that crease that I had over here on the other side. You can't pull that with this. It's just not going to grab a hold. It's not going to do that. Even those little studs are not going to do that. They're just not. They'll pull a hole right in the metal, and you don't want that either. So then you end up, and you know, ultimately you could cut all this out and weld another piece back in there. You could do that. Is that more or less work? I don't know. To me, it's more work, so I just soon do this. Plus, I bought all these toys, I might as well use them, right? So yeah, anyway, I'll keep working this. Thought I'd show you that, how it kind of works, and so I'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, I was going to show you this too. If you're able to get one of these machines, and I've showed this before in previous videos, I'll turn the camera around so you can see what it is. But you got the pulling end. Now you also have a shrinking end, if I get it right, okay? You can set that up there and it heats it up and shrinks it. Also, this has a hole in it, so if you don't have one of these Stinger stud welders, stick your little guy in there, does the same exact thing. So I've got a little bit of a spot right here that I like to pull up. You just flip it over. Boom. So you can save your money buying this. But these are more expensive, don't get me wrong. These are more expensive, but they do more. So, but if you're going to buy a machine, this would probably be the one you would want. Again, since I'm fine-tuning this, I'll use this little guy here. So, right in here, it's just a little bit low still. And when you're pulling with this, another tip. Okay, so if you're low here, you don't want to have this little guy is adjustable in and out. Put that on something that's firm, like right in here on this edge. You don't want to stick it in here because you're going to be pulling and it's going to be pushing that in. That's not what you want. So you want that on a firm spot. All right, and then get in there and start pulling. Boom, right where I need it. So a little bit low up in here, and you can even see where I still need to pull through here. I just want to show you can do this with this deal also, or with the Eagle puller. They make a shark, they make all different kinds. Some of them are really, really expensive. But I've seen them on eBay. Seems like they go for about $1,200, about that, something like that. They're expensive, but I just completely lucked out by finding this on Craigslist. But money's not an object. It's definitely something that's nice to have. This is getting extremely close now, literally to where it's time to start putting some filler. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some of these little areas here because they're still just a tad low. But if I go too much, again, like I said, I'm gonna end up having a bunch of. I'll put my filler on there. I'll start blocking it down flat, and I'll have a bunch of metal spots showing through that I'll have to shrink. So I'll try to keep from that if I can. So anyway, kind of give you a little bit of heads up idea. Let's see. Yeah, I still need to work that a little bit more. Then I'll turn the camera back on and I'll show you how flat I got it from the side view. Anyway, see you guys. That's as good as I'm gonna go with it. Let me see if you can see. I don't know if you can see the light behind that or not. But anyway, it's sliding across. It's substantially better. There's still a little, and I wanted it low. I still want light to shine through there. But it just literally, that's probably less than a 16. So pull this camera and back this off some. All right, this little guy here is the one I've been doing the work with. And you can see there, looks pretty good. Went ahead and run a block across that. Even it's a little bit low, but I bet that's factory because it's not been hit here. But yeah, you can see kind of where this comes down. So yeah, a little bit of filler work there, and she'll be good to go. I said, if you were able to get to the back side of that, like I said, with a dolly and a slapping spoon, you could damn near make that perfect. But since you can't, that's pretty much what you got. So, all right, a few more dents to play with, pull out, and I don't know. I'm gonna try to get some filler on this panel today. So, all right, see you guys. Hey guys, I worked all this out. This was a little bit pushed in still. Worked it out. This side is pretty well ready. What else? This deal here, I actually worked a couple little spots here, little dents down here and there. These, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if somebody tried to pull something, but it was all bent down real bad, and I tried to kind of push it back up. And you can see the crease line here as it comes up, and then it just disappears and then comes back over here. I don't think that was factory. I'm assuming that probably should have continued on, but man, I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to. But this is underneath the car for the most part. This right here was, and I tried to use little studs, but it was pushed up real bad. Like they tried to jack it up with something maybe right there. Could not get a stud to just grab a hold of it. It's too far up in there, and I think I couldn't get all the primer off of it so that the studs wouldn't grip. So I went ahead and just welded me this deal on here and just pulled it down that way. It's still, you can tell, still needs a little bit more. But I'm probably gonna have to cut this loose and move it over here and pull down over here and try to get it that way. This is really, it's overkill because like I said, you're never gonna see that unless you crawled underneath the car. But I was here, so I thought, well, hell, you know, and I could see the line was nice and fairly nice and crisp, and then it just went woof way up. So, yeah, go ahead and pull it out best I can, and then, you know, call it good. This side's pretty much ready too, so I'll just have to strip the whole thing down and lay a coat of fiberglass on it because several of these spots were welded, and then of course this will be welded. And anyway, if there's any pinholes like that little guy right there, that's where a stud was, and when I went to pull the stud, it just pulled metal all the way out, so got a little pinhole there. Anyway, so just a little quick heads up for you. Still got to work some of this down here probably, but yeah, what a pain. Luckily this panel up top here is fairly decent. So alright guys, just kind of giving you a heads up on what's going on. Let's see what time it is. It's 4:30, so I probably won't be working a whole lot more out here today. But alright, talk to you later guys. I'm uploading the battery. I think I'm going to show you how I was doing this. I welded this over on this other side. It's going to be loud. Normally I've got a hook with a puller, but I don't want to mess with that. I was sitting here and I look down. I thought, you know what? I'll just put this in there and beat it down. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, back this out. You can see it's way better. I can live with that. That thing was pushed way up in there. Yeah, I'll just cut this off, grind it down, and we'll be good with that. So, alright guys, thought I'd, just another little idea. Like I said, you can use what you have. Just laying around, find something you think will work. Like I said, I could go open up my slide hammer and get it out and bring it over here, put it all together and assemble it and the whole deal. Or I can just look down and grab this and a big ass hammer, stick it in a hole, and works just as good. So there you go. I mean, just common sense, using what you can use. Maybe thinking outside the box a little, I guess. All right. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole lot more today. Like I said, I might go ahead and try to lay some. Yeah, I don't even know if I'll do that. I was going to try to lay some filler in there, but I think I'll just grind that down and I may call it a day, because I've had more than enough of this freaking lower panel. I'm glad this thing wasn't, I'm glad the rest of the car wasn't like this. So, and I wished I'd have charged this guy by the hour, because I'd have made a fortune. But I didn't, so it is what it is. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later. See ya. Alright guys, I've had enough for tonight. I'm going to go in and upload this video. Got it all ground down to bare steel. That way I can come in the morning first thing and do me a tight wipe of fiberglass, at least over the welded areas. And then the rest of it I can just do with regular filler. But yeah, turned out real nice. I mean, for what it was, I'm real happy with it. I know you can't see a whole lot, probably because the glare too is not going to allow it to show real good, but anyway, there it is. Still got to work this out a little bit. I forgot about it. I sit here messing around. Oh, that one little spot that I did. Don't know if you can see that, but it makes a nice. This is still sticking down, so I'm gonna have to beat that up a little bit. But if you come up here, you can see how it transitions real nice here. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if anybody knows what those are for, because it's not a drain hole, because it's solid on the back side. I mean, it's a hole, but what I'm saying is it's not like that was allowing something to drain out of there. And there's one over here too, and I don't know what they're for. I don't know if somebody drilled something in there, and I don't know. Anyway, alright guys, this video is probably going to be pretty long again, so there you go. That's it. Yeah, that was a lot of work. All right, see you.